Let's talk about consciousness. Seriously, what is it? That private, first-person movie that's always playing inside your head, the experience of being you. Is it some kind of spiritual thing? A weird biological accident? Or what if it's something else? Today we're diving into a pretty wild idea that suggests your consciousness might just be the most sophisticated piece of software in the known universe.
Okay, let's just start right here. Forget all the big, complicated theories for a moment and just ask yourself this. Really think about it. Why isn't it just dark inside? Why does the world appear to you with colors and sounds and feelings? Why is there a subjective texture to life at all?
And look, this isn't just some late-night philosophical question. This is what thinkers like David Chalmers call the hard problem. It's easy enough to explain how our brains process light waves of a certain frequency. But what we can't explain is why all that processing comes with the vivid, personal feeling of seeing the color red.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. What if we've been looking in all the wrong places? Forget searching for some special consciousness particle or a magic spot in the brain. The theory we're digging into today suggests that the secret is actually hidden in the fundamental principles of information itself.
So take a look at this. Right now, as you're looking at these numbers, your brain is doing what it does best. It's automatically hunting for a pattern, right? It's trying to find a simple rule to make sense of this jumble, to, well, understand it.
And here's one possible rule. Let's see. The odd prime number, 3 plus 1 is 4. 5 plus 1 is 6. 7 plus 1 is 8. 11 plus 1 is 12, and so on. You see, this rule, odd prime numbers plus 1, is a much shorter, more elegant way to describe the sequence than just listing all the numbers. You've just compressed the data.
And here is the absolute key to this whole thing. That aha moment you just had, that feeling of getting it, well, according to pioneers like Gregory Shaiton, that's not just like compression, that feeling is compression. To understand something is just to find a simpler way to describe it. Comprehension is compression.
And that brings us straight to the compression conjecture, an idea championed by thinkers like Phil McGuire. And the claim here is, well, it's breathtaking. It says that consciousness isn't just some side effect of your brain processing information. It is the very act of the brain finding patterns, simplifying the chaos of the world and compressing that fire hose of sensory data into a clean, coherent model you can actually use.
Now, there are a couple of different takes on this radical idea. On one hand, you have Phil McGuire, who says consciousness literally is the act of compression. But then you have AI researcher Jürgen Schmidhuber, who offers a little twist. He thinks consciousness is the reward signal, that little jolt of pleasure you get when you figure something out, when you get better at compressing the world. It's the aha moment itself. So, how does this actually work? Well, your brain is, at its core, a prediction machine. It's constantly taking in everything you see, hear, and feel, and looking for patterns. It uses those patterns to build memories, which are really just compressed models of the past. And why? So it can predict the future. Because in a dangerous world, being able to guess what's coming next is the ultimate survival hack.
Okay, so if consciousness is all about compression, can this theory actually solve some of the deepest mysteries of the mind? Let's start with a big one, that feeling of having a self.
The theory goes that self-awareness isn't something magical we're born with. It's something the brain builds because it has to. See, to survive in a social world, you need to predict what other people are going to do. To do that, you create little simplified models of them in your head. But to make those models any good, you have to include how they react to, well, to you. So your brain is forced to create a compressed model of its own behavior. And get this, that internal self model, that convenient little shortcut for me, is what we experience as our conscious self.
But what about the hard problem, that feeling of redness? The compression idea has a fascinating answer for this too. It says a quale, that subjective flavor, is simply the unique signature of your brain's specific compression algorithm. The way you experience red is shaped by every single memory and association you have with that color, all compressed into one unified feeling. My red is different from your red because our personal histories, our compression data, are different.
So, this theory seems to explain an incredible amount. But here's the twist. It also comes with a profound, almost paradoxical, limit on what we can ever truly know about ourselves.
And if you think this is all just abstract theory, it's not. We can actually measure it. There's this thing called the Hutter Prize. It's a competition to see who can best compress a 100 megabyte chunk of Wikipedia. Now, to do this well, you can't just find repeated words. A program has to truly understand grammar, concepts, stories. The current AI record is pretty good, just under 16 megs. But you know what?
We estimate that humans could do it in about 12. We are, for now, the undisputed compression champions.
Okay, and here it is, the final, mind-bending turn. The very mathematical framework that gives us this powerful theory of consciousness, it's called algorithmic information theory, also contains a proof of its own limits.
It's a fundamental rule of computer science. Basically, a program cannot contain a complete compressed description of itself. Think of it like a map that tries to contain a perfect two-scale map of itself, which would have to contain another map and another. It's an infinite loop. So if your brain is a kind of computer, it means it can never, ever create a complete, fully compressed model of itself. You can't fully understand your own source code.
This quote from McGuire and McGuire just nails the unsettling consequence of all this. Are you in control? Yes, certainly. But at the same time, the you that you experience, that self-model, is a brilliant summary, but it's not the whole story. You can never fully know the system that's generating that feeling of you.
Which leaves us with one last massive question. This theory gives us a powerful, scientific way to think about what we are, but it also seems to build a hard mathematical wall around the limits of self-knowledge. If we really are algorithms that are by their very nature incapable of fully understanding ourselves, what does that mean for that age-old quest to know thyself?